Hello guys, and welcome back to another Kingdom Come Deliverance tutorial. And in today's episode we're going to be doing something quite interesting. A lot of people have been wondering, how do you actually hunt in this game, how do you make money from it, and how do you get the equipment and things in order to do so, and that is what I'm going to be showing you in this video. Oh, and also, what are the best places to do it, because there's some certain places that you're going to get a better yield of game or whatever you're hunting at the time. So I think we should go to the video? I think we should probably do that, actually. Actually, I might get some water first. So starting off this, you need to do a few important things. First, you need to make sure that you have progressed in the story enough that you've already gone hunting with Sir Hans Cockymouth. So once you've done that, then you will have unlocked all the hunting stuff. Obviously, there's other things like being able to unlock furs, being able to skin animals. I think there's also other things that you can get from animals, but for the basic hunting, you need to make sure you've done that. And also, if you beat him in the archery tournament, you'll also get a bow from that, so that's nice. But talking about bows, where are you going to get these bows from? They're probably the most important part of hunting, and there's a few various places you can go to get a bow. First off, like I said, is beating Hans in the archery tournament. He'll give you his old bow, which is nice, and then you'll be able to go hunting with that. You can also buy them at the Huntsman in Rattay. There's some bows there. Make sure you get one that is attuned to your skill set at the moment, because you're going to be terrible at shooting at the start. It's going to be very tricky for you, so make sure you check the stats and make sure you can actually use the bow properly first. Otherwise, you're just going to try and fire it, and the arrow's going to flop on the floor, and you're going to break it. Another place you can get a bow is just finding bandits around the woods and things. In missions, you'll see bandits, there'll be archer bandits. You can go and take the bows off them as well. And also, you'll see later in the video, if you go up to one of the hunting spots, I went to a deer hunting spot, and there was a poacher who had a bow on him, and I killed him, and I took some of his arrows and stuff, but you can take his bow as well. So there's various ways of getting bows, free or paying for them legit. But once you've got a bow, the next thing you need is definitely your horse. Yes, you can go hunting without a horse, but it is very useful. You'll be able to reach to further places, but you should pretty much, I think you should have a horse by this point if you've done that mission. I think you're given a horse before. I bought my own horse, so obviously I didn't use the one given, but yeah, you should have a horse by this point. You'll also be able to carry more on it, especially if you get saddlebags, but you'll still be able to carry various amounts on your horse, even without the saddlebags. But for some strange reason, if you don't have a horse, you can always steal one. It's fun sneaking into places. I would recommend doing it at night, nicking a horse, make sure no one sees you, and run off with it. You won't own that horse, you won't be able to call it to you, but it'll be a horse that you can use for the temporary time being. Now, what about kit? See, the most important part about hunting is being able to carry a lot. You need to be light-footed, and you need to be able to carry all the game you collect. This means do not go in your full armor. Yes, you can hunt in full armor, but it's not really the most practical thing to do. What I did personally is I made sure that I put all my armor, all my heavy things in the chest, and I had the bare minimum on me. My sword, my bow and arrow, my clothes, a little bit of food, make sure you've got food, and of course my money, and maybe a few potions if you need them. But other than that, do not take anything unnecessary. Put them in your chest if you have them, or go back to Teresa's house and you should be able to put them in a chest there. As I said, you need to be light-footed. Go to the tailor and get something like a gambeson. That's what I use. It's pretty cheap, it's got okay armor, but it's light, it makes sure you can move pretty fast, but it also blends in pretty well to the undergrowth. Once you are kitted up, you're pretty much ready to go. I'm not 100% sure if it's a mechanic in the game, but I would definitely recommend picking up a knife anyway. Even if this has got nothing to do with hunting, you'll use it at some point in the future, and it only cost me about 17 groschen, so it's very inexpensive and a very useful tool, especially when you're doing some assassinations later, as you might see in some other videos. Okay, so you're pretty much kitted up, you're pretty much ready to go. But there's one more thing. You have to be very wary about the timing. What time do you go hunting? I checked and it was just past midday. Now this is a little bit too late. You want to be spending a lot of time out there and you want to have as much sunlight as possible. Hunting at night is not possible. You can't fire your bow and hold your torch at the same time, and if you go into the woods without a torch, it'll be pitch black, you'll most likely get hunted by bandits and killed. So make sure you're going at the right time. I would sleep, wake up about early morning-ish. First light is probably the best time, but I woke up about 8 or 9 o'clock and I headed out for my first hunt. Next, we're going to go on to location. Where are the best places to hunt? Now, all over Kingdom Come Deliverance, there are forests. In pretty much every forest, you'll find something to hunt. You'll find hares, you'll find stags, you'll find deer, you'll find boar, and all that stuff of the like. But there are some certain places where you're more likely to find some things more than others, and this is where I'm going to look at. If you'll see this location on the map, just to the east of Rattay, you can see that there's a little street and it heads up to a little camp. This is a good deer hunting spot, so this is where I head first. You might want to watch out though, there is a bandit camp on the way, and if you're a bit slow past them, or if you're not being sneaky, they might catch you and try and have a go at you, but I just raced past them. There should be a stream heading off to the right hand side if you're heading from the Rattay area. Go up that stream and then you'll find a poaching camp. Now, be a little bit wary, there is a man here a lot of the time. He's a guy that has a bow, as I said before, you can get your bow off him if you don't have one already. But he's pretty easy to beat, a few slashes with a sword, even it was just one hit for me and he surrendered because I was pretty geared up by that point and pretty high level. So he's not too hard to take out, but this is a good starting point. What I recommend you doing is then getting your bow out and going on the prowl. The first thing you want to do is not sprint everywhere. Sprinting creates a lot of noise and it will reduce your stamina drastically. Yes, getting into the forest, sometimes you're a bit impatient and you want to be quick, but hunting is all about patience. First off, what you want to do is you want to scout the area a little bit. Have a little bit of a walk around. If you need to, start small like I did. If you see a few hares, do a few practice shots on it. If of course you have the arrows, yes, make sure you have plenty of arrows because you will be missing a lot, especially if you haven't leveled up your archery. I've significantly leveled up my archery and I'm still pretty bad at it at the moment. I'm still very shaky on the hand. If you need a little bit of extra support, type in Kingdom Come Deliverance mods and there will be a mod where you can download where you can actually get a small reticle for your bow. This makes it a little bit easier to shoot, as you might think. Now, hunting around a little bit more, you might run into a few animals. I first run into a stag. Now, this stag didn't really spot me at first, so it's a good idea to crouch here. The best way to take down these animals is to not shoot them from front or the back, is to try and sneak around the side. Here you have a bigger surface area, and if like me, you're not the greatest archer in the world, you're going to have a bigger surface area to hit, so shooting them in from the side is fine. Now the first few shots confused me. It looked like I hit it, but nothing happened. Now this is where patience kicks in. You're not going to kill it most of the time with one shot. Multiple shots might take it down, but on the whole, you're going to shoot it 1 or 2 times and then you're going to have to wait for it to bleed out. If you want to speed up this process, try and put a few more shots into it, but there's always the chance that it will run away. Going on from this, once you've taken down the animal, go up to it, press E, and you can take all the meat you want. I definitely recommend you go and store it in your horse though, as this is going to be pretty heavy, and especially out of a big stag like this, you're going to get a lot of meat. That'll be useful for later for eating and selling, and you can get a decent amount of money out of it. Next I found some does, a flock of does. There was about 5 or 6 of them. Now something that I really found out that was quite important here is to not lose sight of your tracking. Yes, I killed a few of them and then I went on to try and kill the rest of them, and I got a little bit just too greedy. After trying to find the other ones, I killed a few more, but then went back and could not find the first 2 does that I'd killed, therefore losing them. But nonetheless, I still got 2 carcasses there, got a good bit of meat off it, and then I put it back in my horse. So we've got a good amount of meat now. But what can you do with this game? Once you've been hunting, how can you get money off it? Well, game is actually illegal. Yes. This does not mean you can't get any money from it, but it means you have to be a bit more careful. There are certain places where you can sell it raw as a legal game. For one of the millers, I think one of the millers that you do some thievery tasks for, he might buy it off you. There are some merchants that might buy it off you, but you have to be very careful because they could report you and you could get caught. The safest way and the best way, I would say, is to go to a campfire and cook it. The meat cooks very, very quickly. It won't take time at all. You can cook about 100 at once. It's kind of a little bit insane, but it's quite nice. And once it's cooked, it actually raises in value and you can sell it pretty much anywhere in the markets because it's now legal. And of course, you can eat it and get things from it. So I'd recommend keeping a little bit back if you don't have much food on you. And it's good nourishment food. You'll get your health up a little bit as well. Now, where can you sell it? Well, once it's cooked, it is now legal to sell. I definitely recommend checking out the butchers first because they're likely to pay more than others, but I think you can sell it at places like merchants and traders as well, but I definitely recommend the butchers. Just make sure you're going to one of the bigger villages, as the smaller village butchers don't normally have enough money to actually pay you for the meat, so make sure you're getting your meat's worth. Haggle if you need to. So approximately about 10 minutes of gearing up and half an hour of hunting, I got about 1k groschen, which is pretty good, I have to say. But remember, you don't just have to hunt game, there are also other things you can hunt, like dogs. Yes, you can hunt the dogs. You don't know if you can actually sell the fur though. I actually upgraded so I could actually get pelts off things, but I tried to sell the dog pelt and they got annoyed at me because they realised I'd killed someone's dog, but I was able to sell the meat. that said dog meat, so go figure why I was able to say meat but not dogs. You can also hunt humans. Unfortunately, you can't eat or sell humans at the moment. The human flesh update hasn't been implemented into Kingdom Come Deliverance, so hunting humans is more done for a sport, but I know rich people love to do that sort of thing. And finally, the last type of hunting that I accidentally did, I didn't really mean to do this. Coming back from my boar hunting, I stumbled across a camp, and in it had about 5,000 groschens worth of armor. I don't know how that got there, but I accidentally took it and went and sold it. There's a lot of profit in hunting if you do it right, if you do it well. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If there's any other aspects of Kingdom Come Deliverance that you want to learn about, make sure you leave the comments down below. But until then, guys, I will see you in the next one.